Curt Schilling will be back on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball this week after serving a one-game suspension for tweeting about comparing Muslim extremists to Nazis. Now, I'm not getting into that, but I had a takeaway from this thing. By the way, he missed calling a no-hitter thrown by Chicago's Jake Arrieta in that game last Sunday night. But anyway, takeaway I have from this is clear. You know, a lot of guys at ESPN have been suspended for tweeting stuff out, so it's common knowledge that they're sensitive to everything there. So why wouldn't it behoove you not to do it? Why wouldn't it behoove you to drop the fingers, the tweeting, all this stuff? And I'll tell you another reason why, and listen to me carefully. There are a lot of people working there. There are a lot of good announcers there. These almost like interchangeable parts. So if they had to get rid of Curt Schilling, they wouldn't care a bit. They'd move someone else in. They'd move another guy in. In this case, they put a woman in to take his place. It was interesting. But anyway, you've got to think more about this before you go to the Twitter fingers, because at ESPN, they'll move you right out permanently. Hey, the college football season is upon us again. And what a shock. The players once again play. They don't get paid. But here's a new interesting wrinkle to that whole story. Notre Dame, the hallowed halls of Notre Dame, and Showtime, owned by CBS, are teaming up to do a series about Notre Dame's whole season, kind of like a Hard Knocks of college football. Who do you think they're going to have doing this? They're going to get actors to play the players? No, the players are going to do it. They'll be on television every week on Showtime, besides being on NBC doing their games. So you know what? They're not getting paid for the games. They're not getting paid for Showtime. They're not getting paid for anything. They get room and board. They don't get paid. I'm confused, but I know this. They should get paid for this series, something, anything. Please allow me to get serious for one moment here. You know, I watched what unfolded at Turner Field Saturday when a fan, Gregory Murray, fell out of the upper deck to his death. And I was watching and listening to all this as the game went on and talking to people afterwards. You know, the players couldn't concentrate. The announcers, you know, they just barely got through the game. And the fans, I don't think they cared anymore about watching the game. So what am I saying? I'm saying that they should have stopped the game, you know, halted it right there, clear the stadium. And, you know, I'm not alone in this feeling. Joe Girardi even said it might not have been a bad idea. So you know what? I hope no one ever has to. I'm not going to rip anyone for not doing that. That's a tough decision. And you know what? I hope no one ever again has to be confronted with that decision. Please let it never happen again. Here we are at the end of the Whatchamacallit show, back with the tweets, the emails, all the stuff. A lot of interesting stuff on this Chris Carter thing we did last week. And some of it was actually positive. And this is from Dave and Lori. They say, I don't want my kids listening to Chris Carter. Always had such respect, but no more. Will not watch him this season. That's pretty drastic. And here's from Nick. This guy goes by the name of the Dolphinator 13. He says, Raissman, well said about Carter. He's a total phony, yet ESPN treats him like a hero. Well, that's your opinion. I respect all opinions, including this one. This guy is writing about a Chris Carter column I wrote recently. He says, this is one of the stupidest sports articles I've ever read. Wow. The author's shocked and outraged that ex-players who are now behind the microphone are not fully squealing on every bit of dirty laundry they know about regarding their sport. Bob, they're not there as informants and investigators. Well, he goes on and he makes some more points, but he says, you know, he says sometimes they do say stupid stuff, but he says to me, he goes, you know what? Stop criticizing the work of others and go do some work of your own. That's a good idea. Now get out of here.